Okay, y'all, welcome to the free astrotheology course. I am Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Okay, so let's make it do what it do. All right, so it looks like everything is good. Let me pull up the PDF. Let me check if the PDF is sharing. Give me 1 second, y'all. One moment. One moment. Let me check it. All right. Oh, here we go. So let me check it, y'all. In 1 second. Be patient, please. All right. So we're in business. Okay, y'all. So I want to talk about Moses and Joseph. Okay. So we're gonna start on page 107. All right. So we've already covered this. We've already covered it, but there's just a few things I wanted to review that I think are important. Important enough to review it. All right. So on page 107, look at the last paragraph. So the author makes this assertion. What page am I on? Hold on. Let me blow that up. Do y'all see where the author says that at the top of the paragraph? That the wisdom of Moses was astrological. Okay, so now he's going to provide his evidence that the wisdom of Moses was astrological. In other words, everything that we were taught was a miracle in this story that Moses did was no miracle at all. It was Moses using science, particularly magnetism. Okay, magnetism. Okay, so now that being the case, there's no need for an external deity like a YHWH, Yahuwah, etc. Okay, now let's look at it from a practical standpoint. No gods, devils, and demons. Okay, not now one of y'all ever seen a god or a demon when you were sober. Or in your awakened state. You have no evidence. You've never seen the Tetragrammaton. You've never seen Jesus, the Christ figure. You've never seen Hercules, Apollo, Jupiter. You've never seen, not Nan, one solar deity. But you have seen and have experience with technology. Technology is the applied use of science. Okay, the applied use of science taking the form of products, services, etc. Now, look at this. That the wisdom of Moses was astrological. Witness his alteration. Alteration means change, right? Slight change. Witness his alteration, like you get your clothes altered, right? go to the seamstress or the tailor, get your clothes altered so that they fit you perfectly. Witness Moses' alteration of the beginning of the year. Now, this is written in published in 1892. So the flow is a little bit difficult to understand this. But listen, witness Moses' alteration or slight changes, his alteration of the beginning of the year from. Okay, so our starting point is indicated by from. Moses changed the beginning of the year. Okay, witness his alteration of the beginning of the year from the entrance of the sun sun in Aries. In Aries, Aries the ram. Right, y'all? The vernal equinox, the spring equinox, is the beginning of the natural year according to modern astrologers. Y'all keep with me, stay with me. So when the sun, this is the celestial equator, 0 degrees, all right? When the sun springing up from the winter solstice is ascending, springing northward, it gets to 0 degrees and then it passes over the celestial equinox. And in this zodiacal age, that's happening in Aries, the ram, okay? The sun passes over, okay? The sun passes over. So Aries is March 19th, anytime between March 19th and March 22nd in general, okay? In general. Ooh, y'all, the mosquitoes are getting me even here. Okay, now, that is also called right ascension of the meridian, okay? So it says, or right ascension of the meridian from the first point of the R space A space M, right ascension meridian. Now listen, y'all, listen. The feast days and festivals. Y'all know there's a correlation with the feast days and festivals with the seasons of the year. On the sun sun's changing signs. So every month, the sun is going to enter into a different zodiac sign, right? In my father's house, or in my father's abode, there are many mansions or many houses. Houses for the sun. Zodiac signs, 12. Okay, our ancient ancestors only recognized 10, if y'all remember. Okay, now let's continue. The feast days and festivals, Moses added those. Moses added those, the feast days and festivals on the sun sun's changing signs and the new moons. The covenant of the Lamb, that's the covenant of work. That's the covenant of labor. Okay, you've got to do work in order for you to have a crop to harvest. Okay, so that's a covenant of work. The vernal equinox is a covenant of work. If I remember correctly, it's the pillar of, is it Boaz? I don't remember. Sometimes I forget, y'all, the pillars. I think it's Boaz, but if it's not Boaz, it's Jachin. But I believe it's Boaz, covenant of work, covenant of labor. All right, y'all. But anyway, that's not important right now. So Moses added these feast days. Moses said that the beginning of the year now begins in March with Aries. What is this telling us? Well, when our ancestors were in Egypt, The zodiacal age was Taurus. The zodiacal age was Taurus. Apis the bull. Okay, for the religionist was worship. Okay? But for those of us who are not religious, we understand the game, we understand our heritage. Springtime came when the sun was in Taurus. Okay? In other words, let me say it differently. Let me denominate it differently. The natural year began on the first day of spring, which was in Taurus. Moses came in and changed that and said, no, 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 no. The zodiacal age has changed. And the first day of spring now occurs in Aries. Okay, which is now right ascension of the meridian. The first point of the right ascension of meridian. And then Moses added in those feast days and festivals on the Escheat sun's changing signs and the new moons. I remember years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I did a calendar of I never published it. I never made it available to the public. But I did a calendar with all of the feast days and the new moons. You could actually look at it and see it, right? There was the Christian cross, the solstitial line, equinoctial line, right? Y'all know that each season has a cherubim station in front of it. Okay, all right, which the prophet Noble Drew Ali talked about. All right, now listen. Okay, so now that's the first thing. Moses said we're no longer in the age of Taurus, we're in the age of Aries. So now, the shofar, the ram's horn, became representative of that, right, y'all? Now, listen, let's continue. The author says, Moses' knowledge of what is now called the Magellan Cloud. The Magellan Cloud is a constellation. I think it's located near, well, you have to be, this is the point I wanted to tell you. You need to be within 20 degrees. As a matter of fact, what my memory tells me is that you need to be within 20 degrees north or south of the equator in order to be able to see the Magellan Cloud. Now, y'all, let me see if I can pull this up. Give me 1 second, okay? Now, I had it. Let me see. Now, there's a major and a minor. Okay, so let me see if I can pull these up. Do y'all see my screen? I want to show y'all the images. Wow, there's like a very, very slow. There's a lag. It's really, really slow, man. Okay, now this is the Magellan Cloud. Now you must remember, Moors are navigators. Y'all see these? Let me just imagine you're on the sea or you're anywhere, right? And you're traveling, okay? Take a look at that. Let me pause that right there. So there's a large and small Magellan Cloud. Moses knew about this. Now remember, Moses was skilled in all of the knowledge of the Egyptians. And according to Josephus, It was Abraham, who educated the Egyptians. So this is, according to Josephus, this is Abraham's knowledge. All right. And then where did Abraham get it from? What land did he come from? See, he didn't just make it up. Okay. And I'm not saying that that story is true. I'm not saying that the story is true. I'm just giving you context. All right. Just giving you context. So y'all see this? So this is what the author is referring to. Moses knew about this constellation. Okay? But let's let the author speak for himself. Let's let the author speak for himself. All right? And of course, y'all know, let me go back to the book. Wait, there we are. So hopefully, let me give it a second before I start, so y'all can see the screen I'm on. I'm on a different screen than y'all. It looks like it's about a 30-second lag or more. I got to figure out how to change that. The lag is too long. All right. So now, y'all, let's pick it up. Okay, so his knowledge, Moses' knowledge of what is now called, that's in 1892, the Magellan Cloud, which, as every navigator knows, Moses had to be a navigator. He had to be. Why? Well, because he was a traveling man, right? He traveled through from Egypt all the way until, his time ran out and he expired. But listen, everybody knows the story. His knowledge of what is now called the Magellan Cloud, which, as every navigator knows, is a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. A pillar of fire or stars by night. Let me repeat that. Excuse me. The Magellan Cloud. The Magellan Cloud is a cloud by day and a pillar of fire, which are stars by night. Now, every navigator knows that. Every navigator knows that. Why don't you know that? You're a Christian, you're a Hebrew Israelite. You're supposed to know the Bible. Why don't you know that navigators call the Magellan Cloud a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night? Why don't you know that? See, if you knew that and you read this text, you may see this text very differently. That's my point. That's my point. So the Magellan Cloud, which every navigator knows, every navigator, that means someone who's traveling by sea or by land or by boat. Every navigator knows is a cloud by day and a pillar of fire or stars by night, and has always been. Let me repeat that. And has always been. So just like in 1892, oh, what happened? I don't know how that happened, y'all. So just like in 1892, and just like today, the Magellan Cloud is still there. It's still there. All right? And those people who are navigators, seafarers, and even though the art of navigating has been lost largely, there are those people who still know. Okay? Hold on. What's happening? Okay, so I'm on number 7. All right, now, if y'all knew this information when you read that pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, you wouldn't be so fast to just assume that it's some external God. Even right now, y'all might be doubting. Okay, and if you doubt that, that's perfectly fine. You should. You shouldn't just believe anything, especially the first time you hear it. But now you have something to think about. And now you can do some investigation. You can do some investigation. Okay. Now, is this another coincidence, y'all? Is this one of a million more coincidences? Or is there something to this? Moses was leading the people. They were traveling, which means navigating. And Moses was what? Led by a cloud during the day and a pillar of fire by night. Well, I'll be dang. That sounds like the Magellan Cloud. Now, if you understand what I have just, I'm gonna say, revealed to you, y'all go watch. Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. If y'all know what you're looking at, write it in the comment section. If you don't know what you're looking at, if you don't realize what I have just revealed to you, too bad and sad for you, because you're gonna keep on searching and keep on looking, because that's what religion is always about. Keep you searching, keep you busy looking, always searching for the, for the Most High's name, always searching for the real meaning, the real doctrine, always searching, always. Where is Jerusalem? Always searching. Let the Spirit hear. Let the congregation hear what the Spirit says to the congregation. You don't need to search no more. Okay? You got eyes to see and perceive, and ears to hear and understand, meaning that the Christ curse, the historical Christ, Jesus Christ curse, is broken. Your eyes and ears are recoupled with your mind. You understand exactly what I just told you. You understand exactly what I just told you. And I'm going to leave it at that. You don't know? Keep coming to the classes. Find out. All right? Watch all my, take all my classes. Okay? And find out. Because, let me say it again, religion's objective is to keep you searching. All right? Keep you searching. Okay? Let's continue. So the Magellan Cloud, every navigator knows, was called a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That pillar of fire are the stars. And has always been showing that Moses guided his way by the stars. And many a shipmaster, many a navigator does today. That's 1892. In 1892, shipmasters found their way, guided their way by the stars. Okay? If his compass be deranged by any local deviation, if his compass ain't working right, due to something that's causing it to make an error locally or even mechanically, okay, he's got to use the stars. All right. Now let's continue. The making of the tabernacle and altar. Y'all know the making of the tabernacle and altar, all of that's astrological. The colors of the veils, all of that's astrological. Josephus, so writes the author, tells us that. You can get that, I think, on page 106. Okay? You get that on page 106. Excuse me. The colors of the veils, the colors of the stones in the breastplate of judgment. We went over all of that. Pure astrological, the zodiac. The central place or holy of holies between Taurus, the head of a bull, Leo, the head of a lion, Scorpio, the head of an eagle, and Aquarius, the head of a man, okay, which correlates to Ezekiel chapter 1, and I believe it's Revelation chapter 4, okay? The four living creatures, the cherubim. Y'all remember the Ta cross, the Phoenician Canaanite Ta? Y'all remember? Okay. And Aquarius or the cherubim are conclusive that God ordained for worship by Moses was the same God as known to Abram of where y'all? Of Chaldea. Of Chaldea. And the Chaldeans, of course, are best known for their astrology, their knowledge of astrology, their knowledge of the cosmos, and his divining rod or staff. Now, some of y'all might have a problem with that, but it is what it is. And Moses' divining rod or staff, by which Moses wasn't able to find water. Now, y'all know when I was a child, we used to have these wishbones, right? Like this. You get it from a chicken, like you eat the chicken and you get the wishbone, or you find a stick that had the two things like that, and you point it at the ground. And I was pretty good at finding water with that stick. That was the whole purpose of doing it. Okay? So this is what, according to the author, Moses did with his divining rod or his staff. And by the way, y'all, where did we get this from? I'm sure we're not the only ones in my neighborhood who were using a stick to find water. Where did we get that from? I don't even know how I learned how to do that. Okay. So, and Moses' divining rod or staff by which Moses wasn't able to find water shows his knowledge of magnetism, also original in Chaldea. Everybody with me? Everybody see that? Now the author is showing us, the author is giving us evidence. The author is giving us evidence that Moses' knowledge, his wisdom was astrological. Okay? Then the Jewish candlesticks. Listen, y'all. Then the Jewish candlestick is the exact symbol of the planetary system. Well, y'all know I got to show that, right? So let me pull that up. And I'm just going to Google search exactly like he wrote it. I'm going to type in, I already have it, but let me show y'all. Now, remember, scholars, we talked about I don't like this white background. It's too much on your eyes. Y'all know computer screens, cell phone screens will totally destroy your eyes. Did y'all know that? All right, y'all. So let me pull this up. You know what? This is really interesting. They, huh? Y'all know it's supposed to be 7 sticks, right? Let me try to find an old document. Hold on. See, they try to fool people. Okay, here we have an old one. With the modern stuff, they try to hide things. Now, y'all see this menorah? Okay, in the center. Y'all see it? In the center is the sun. Now, remember we talked about planetary hours? I'm going to show y'all this. In the center, right there in the center, that's the central fire. That's the central fire, okay? That's the sun. Now, these 3 to the left, that's Venus, Mercury, Moon. To the right, that's Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Now, let me show y'all in the book. Okay, let me show you how crafty they are. How they hide and lie about things. Now, y'all tell me if this is another coincidence. Y'all remember the 7? Let's go back to the astrological. Give me 1 second, y'all. One moment. I gotta concentrate so I don't pass it. Here we are. I'm in the right place now. Y'all remember this? Planetary hours. Let me blow that up. Put it in the center of the screen for y'all. Y'all remember planetary hours? Hold on. Uh-oh. Planetary hours. Let me try to get that in the center of the screen. Here's the key. There we are. Now look at the menorah, the candlestick, the Jewish candlestick from the aerial view. In the center, y'all see how they had, let me show y'all. Let me go back. Let me go back so y'all can see it again. Where did I get it? Well, they just try to be so slick with hiding stuff. See, that one had too many arms. Okay, because it's very easy to bust them. Once you get put on game, it's very easy to see the manipulation and lies. I don't see the one. Where's the one that y'all I had? Here it is. Now y'all see here. See in the center, the stick in the center, it's big, right? It's big. Okay. Now let's go. Let me try to get the web page back. Now let's go back to our book. Uh-oh. Okay, now y'all see the central sun? It looked like a smiley face. Y'all see the circle in the middle? All right. So here we have the sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. And then over here we have the sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the menorah, each candlestick represents a platter, a planet. The candlestick in the center is the SUN sun, the central sun. Y'all got it? Everybody see that? All right. Let's go back to our book. Now that has to do with the planetary hours. So I'm still going to do the let me show so y'all can see the names, y'all see the shapes. Venus, Mercury, Moon. Okay. I'm still gonna I'm waiting until I recover so when I do the video, y'all won't have to hear me coughing and mess the whole video up with me coughing and everything. Actually, I didn't even want to do this. But I've been away so long, I feel guilty, you know. So anyway, so this is very, very, very important stuff because these are tools we can use, y'all, to overcome our enemies civilly, to overcome them civilly. They're using astrology against us. They're using our stuff against us. Okay? So now, as we go through this, we are leveling the playing field. You see what I'm saying? Actually, we're doing better than that. Because once we start to do this in mass, and I'm not talking about 50% of us, I'm talking about a fraction of us, right? Remember the 100 or the 99th monkey rule. Y'all don't know that? Go look it up. Okay? So we're going to do this with planning all of our stuff, whether it's recording documents or anything like that, whether it's achieving personal goals or whether it's communicating with people, okay, about what we want and what we don't want and what they can and what they cannot do and what the borders and the boundaries are. Okay, it ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. I assure you that. I assure you that. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Okay? All right? Now let me see what page I'm on. It ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. You see, all you need to do, like when I was in school, I used to be skinny. I'm not skinny anymore. I might look skinny on camera, but I'm not skinny. But people used to want to bully me, right? I used to try to hang around all the older kids, older uh, people rather, not kids. And they want to bully me, but I had to go upside a few of their heads, right? Give them beat downs. And after about 2 or 3 occurrences, they didn't want to fight no more. They left me alone. They gave me the respect. Okay. Now, what they did behind my back, that's another story. But it wasn't anymore trying to punk me out, coming up in my face. Those days were over. Okay. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that when we start using this tool, in other words, when we become harmonic with nature in our planning, and in executing those plans, people will leave us alone. It ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. And I'm talking about civic action, not physical action, civic action. Okay? Do y'all know? I don't know if I should say this. Have y'all ever heard of remote healing? Have y'all heard of remote healing? Have y'all heard of clairvoyance? Remote healing. Communicating with people when they're not in front of you. You don't need a mobile phone. You don't need a laptop. Do y'all know our ancient ancestors, without the person being in front of them, could remotely view somebody else, man, woman, or child, or even an animal, and know right away what's causing their illness? And let me use this non-medical term, and fix them, and fix them, and fix them. Imagine what else they could do. If they can fix them, what else can they do? I hope you're thinking hermetically and you're thinking the law of polarity, the law of opposites. See, it ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. Sure enough, ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun and somebody's wondering, why all these terrible things keep happening to me? Okay? And they didn't realize that our ancestors were working on them. Right? Come about magnetism. Okay? So I'm talking about giving that holy work. Giving that holy work. Right? Your divine rod and staff. To comfort the people who are good to you or who are bad to you. Okay, y'all? All right? So we need to return to our heritage. All right? We need to return to our heritage. Let me go back to, now let's start dealing with Joseph now. How much time do I have? Let's get into Joseph now, y'all. All right? Now, Joseph begins on page 108. So we finished Moses. Wait. No, I think I need to continue with Moses. All right. I need to continue with Moses. Okay. Page 108 at the top. All right. So I'm going to start with our conclusive. So the information, the data points that the author just gave us on page 107, actually, there's more. The author talks more about Moses on page 106. Should I go back to that? No. Y'all do that on yourself. Page 106, you're going to learn about the breastplate. You're going to learn about divination. Let me show y'all something about divination, as a matter of fact, for y'all religious people who might say, I'm devil worshiping, even though there ain't no such thing as a devil. Not like you've been taught in religion. Divine, divine divination, y'all see it? Adjective, late, excuse me, late 14th. Now, some of y'all gonna say, oh, you need to look in the Strong's lexicon. Okay, I agree with you. You should, but you should also look in other languages. If you've been following my work and you don't realize that by now, well, maybe well, I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, divine, adjective. And by the way, y'all, they lie in Strong's dictionary. There's a lot of manipulation and deceit in the Strong's lexicon, okay? Late 14th century. Now, I've seen it, all right? That's my opinion, okay? That's my opinion. Late 14th century, quote unquote, divine adjective, pertaining to, of the nature of, or preceding from God or a God. Now, in ancient times, this notion of a God, uppercase or lowercase, did not exist. Did not exist, okay? Addressed to God, capital God, quote unquote, from the Old French divin, 12th century, from Latin divinus, of a God, from divus, quote unquote, of or belonging to a God, inspired. Wait a minute, y'all. Did y'all hear that? Inspired. Prophetic. So this would be saying that the Bible writers are divine, or they were involved in divination. The prophets, prophetic, divine divination, related to Dios. Now, y'all should be concerned about Dios, deity. That takes you all the way back to what? That takes you all the way back to Thoth. As a matter of fact, I wish I could find it. You know, I might come back to that. This is worth coming back to and reviewing. Okay? God, deity. Okay? Dios, Zeus, Iesus. So you're getting into all kind of paganry, right? For those of you all who understand etymology, or y'all went through the class with me where I went through all of this, you'll see that your religion has you worshiping Zeus and Iesus and Thoth. Okay? Dios, God, deity. From P-I-E root, Diu, to shine. Isn't that the sun, y'all? Isn't that the sun? Isn't that a star? To shine. In derivatives, listen, in derivatives, sky, heaven, God. Well, where does God live? God lives in the sky, right? That's what people will tell you. God, they'll look up in the heaven. Okay? Now let's continue. The weakened sense of quote unquote excellent in the highest degree, heavenly. See, heavenly, that means what? Well, what's in the heavens? The stars. Heavenly had evolved by the 15th century. The phrase divine right, indicating one conferred by or based on ordinance of God, is from the 16th century. What do we have here, scholars? What is this? Well, this is a king, someone who takes the role, position of king, robs you of your birthright, and tells you that God, that the heavens, that the stars told him he's supposed to be king. And he's supposed to take all your birthrights. That's what that's saying. divine verb. And by the way, y'all know the crown that the king wears? The crown that the king wears, that's the sun. And the points that protrude up from the crown, that's the rays of the sun, the Ra. And over time, this is according to Jordan Maxwell, over time, they bent the points down. Okay? Why? To hide the solar reference of the crown. Okay? Hence, Christ wore a crown of thorns. Thorns represent Ra, the rays of the sun, the magnetism, the magnetic energy emitted from that central fire. Divine verb, late 14th century, Devanin, quote unquote, learn or make out by or as if by divination. Foretell. Well, prophets foretell the future. Foretell future events, transitive, also intransitive, quote unquote. Use or practice divination. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear it? This is all solar. Okay, all solar, and they sprinkled in the 14th through the 16th century, these external gods. From Old French, diviner, from vulgar Latin, quote unquote, debonair. So all of y'all who used to say y'all sharp and debonair, okay? A dissimulation of Latin debonair, quote, foresee, prophets, seers, foretell, predict. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Malachi, Ezekiel. Even JC the Christ figure was prophesying, right? From divinus, of a god, of Odin, of Woden, of Hercules. From divus, or of or belonging to a god. See, y'all, this is modern. Inspired, prophetic. Now, all y'all holy books, I'm talking about your religious people from that point of view, even though holy means shining with reference to the sun. Prophetic, which is related to Dios. Now, here's your problem again. Dios, Zeus, God, deity, Thoth. Thoth. I'm dealing with y'all in the realm of gods, devils, and demons. Okay, y'all? Because that's where you're at. Diu, quote unquote, to shine. In derivatives, sky, heaven, God. Latin divinus also meant as a noun, listen, y'all, soothsayer. English divine verb is also attested from late 14th century in the sense of, quote unquote, make out by observations or otherwise. Well, isn't that what the priests were doing with the Urim and Thummim, the Apran, huh, y'all? Make a guess or conjecture without reference to supernatural insight. Let me repeat that. Without reference to supernatural insight. I hope y'all understand that. Without reference to supernatural insight. So if someone is divining, according to this definition, they're not making reference to a god. They're not calling on a god or a demon. What are they doing? They're observing or reading the stars, reading the constellations. For example, Moses was able to read the stars and identify the Magellan Cloud. Okay? And based upon his reading, he was able to find his way from point A to point B. That's all that's saying. Ain't got nothing to do with a God. Now let's continue. It continues. The earliest English sense is to contrive, plot. Oh, you mean maybe, I don't know. I'd have to look up what contrive means to get all of the nuances. But is this, it says plot. Now, are you using mathematics, using your critical thinking faculty, and plotting, as in, y'all know in Asia, they have plot paper. People don't use handwriting paper like they used to use when I was in school, right? When I got into college, more people were using plotting paper, but I never liked writing on plotting paper too much. So what did they have? They had their navigational tools and they were plotting on paper, doing mathematics, other considerations, geometry, right? To go from point A to point B. The earliest English sense is to contrive, plot. They ain't plotting nothing, no crime. No, they're plotting mathematical points. They're plotting points and doing geometry to travel, to navigate. Related, divined, divining, divining rod. Well, Moses had a divining rod. Notice what this says, divining rod or divining wand is attested for in the 1650s. All right. Now, divine noun, around 1300, soothsayer, sorcerer, astrologer. From the old French devin, soothsayer, theologian. Okay, y'all. Are you Christians and Hebrews? A theologian. Okay. A theologian. Take it. A theologian. Okay. You take it. A theologian is divine, a soothsayer. Thank you. Close? Yeah. Okay. You have enough?
Còn 2.000 không? Mới có 34.
It's okay.
Các bạn liên quan tới 36.
All right. Okay, y'all. Listen, from old French divine, quote unquote, soothsayer, theologian. So a theologian, all of you Mores, Moshes, and Apostle, I'm going to throw a jab at you if you're listening. Apostles, pastors, anyone who claims to be a theologian or anything of the sort of a theologian, okay? Soothsayer, theologian, okay? Diviner, astrologer, and directly from Latin, sorry, y'all. And directly from Latin, soothsayer, augur. My memory serves me correctly, an augur is like a Roman priest. Y'all check it. Noun, use of an adjective meaning, quote unquote, of or belonging to a god. Theologian, well, it doesn't say theologian. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay. I just threw theologian in at that place. All right, y'all? So if you're claiming to be a religious person, a teacher of any sort, okay? You're a theologian. You are a soothsayer, an astrologer. Now, you didn't even know that. Now, can y'all see my screen? Yeah, y'all see my screen. All right. It's not Dr. Yasapa saying it. I'm just giving it to you, okay? Of or belonging to a god from divus, of or belonging to a god, inspired, prophetic, related to Deus, related to thought. Okay, y'all? Related to Zeus, God, deity, from P-I-E, root, diu, quote unquote, to shine. In derivatives, sky, heaven, God, meaning ecclesiastic, theologian. Okay, now, is there a book called Ecclesiasticus and Ecclesiastes? Theologian, man skilled in divinity, is from late 14th century, sense of quote unquote divine nature, divineness is from late 14th century. All right, y'all. I think this place is about to close, so I'm gonna wrap up this live stream. So we're gonna come back. I'm gonna come back, y'all. I'm gonna come back hopefully in about 10 hours. Or no, less, about 8 or 9 hours. I hope I feel better. Hope I'm still feeling okay. Okay, y'all? So let me stop the share. And we'll pick up on Solomon. All right, we'll pick up on Solomon. And so we're going to pick up where we left off. Last time I was talking about Solomon. Well, I hope y'all learned something. I hope you have something to look forward to. And if you are a Hebrew Israelite, I'm not attacking you. That's not at all what I'm doing. I have no reason to attack you. I just want you to think. Okay, trying to get you to think. The same as if you are a Christian. I'd like for you to think. Okay. Anyway, thanks, y'all. Make sure y'all go out and buy my books. Buy them on Amazon because I'm still locked out of my website. And well, it's a long story, y'all. Anyway, support me in terms of buying my books. Supporting me is educating yourself. Okay? Let me say it again. Supporting me is educating yourself. Buy my books. Subscribe to the 101 Ancient Ibaryath class. All right? Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. Also, declare your nationality. That's the most important thing you can do. Okay? Now, I teach a class, 506 The Curses course, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? The link for everything is in the description area of this video. But make sure don't buy my books on my website because I cannot process the order. I'm still locked out. I'm locked out pretty much of almost all my accounts again. And if you want to support my project to write the book of the law in modern English and ancient Ibaryath, so I can show you the etymological meaning of each word in the book of the law, it's part of speech. I think I'll put in there the morphology, give you meanings from multiple sources, lexicons, and multiple versions of the Bible, and then actually show you what it means in English, easy to read English, and show you the hidden astrology, show you the hidden Hermetic laws, and show you the hidden constitutional. They don't call it, it's not called the Judeo-Christian legal system for nothing. And Jew and Judaism are not ancient. They're not ancient. As a matter of fact, I was talking with one of the scholars at Zion Law School last class about the original Bible that was published in English with Jew translated, the first one. The word was GYU. That was the first spelling of Jew, GYU. I got this from, I think it's Rabbi Finkelstein. If y'all go watch that video. GYU, and I thought that's really strange, right? Why GYU? See, it's a derivative of Judea, right? Or the word, excuse me, the word that's translated as Judea, the location. That is very strange. And then it dawned on me, GYU, anagram, G-A-Y, gay. Jesus the gay. Islam to all the Moors, I, self, law, and master, assalamu alaikum. Yeah, every time I say that, it makes me remember my mother's ex-husband. When I was a little boy, his name was LB. He used to take me to the he was in NOI. He used to take me. And he's always, every time he saw me, he was a real good man, very good to me. He would always say, Assalamu alaikum. Talk a little bit about the Nation of Islam, take me there. But he didn't talk much. But he was a good man. Every time I say that, I remember him. And I actually think that's a good thing, that I remember him every time I say that.